welcome to DeSocio in the Kitchen. Today's recipe might just become your favorite party appetizer. It's from the Médoc region of France, where I spent 3 days at a cooking workshop. It's a zucchini tart with a savory center, a flaky crust, and just a pinch of spice. To get started, we're going to use a handheld mandolin, and I have 1 zucchini. I have it on the thinnest setting here, and we're just going to run our zucchini along here. You can see these are paper thin, almost see-through. So it's really important here to keep your fingers away from the blade. Trust me, I know this from experience. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this whole thing here because it seems as though I never have enough when I need it. We're getting down to the nub and I don't want to risk my fingers. So we'll set this off to the side and we're going to start on that savory filling. It's pretty easy. We have 1 container of sour cream and I'm just going to put it into our little bowl here. And I like to use a storageware bowl here in case I don't use all the filling. I can just pop it into the fridge. There we go. And then I need 2 egg yolks. So we'll just separate the white from the yolk. Next up, we're going to add a little bit of salt here, just like that, and nutmeg. Unexpected, but it's delicious, I promise. I'm going to use my little micro plane here, and you would really be surprised at just how a little bit of nutmeg adds so much flavor. And the last thing is 1 large clove of garlic. I just like to run it along the micro plane as well. That makes sure it gets nice and kind of mashed up and small so nobody gets a big chunk of raw garlic. And again, just watch your fingers on this one. There we go. And now we're just going to give this a nice big stir. So from here, we're going to move on to the puff pastry. This has been thawed and it is at room temperature, so it's nice and easy for us to roll out. And here I just have a little bit of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to spray on our clean work surface. Come in here. Now we're going to want to roll this out until it's probably twice its size. So this is a rustic tart. Don't be bothered if the edges are not even or anything. It's okay. It's still going to taste just as good. I think that looks pretty good. Now we're just going to pop this onto a tray with some parchment paper. There we go. And then here we're just going to take and kind of crimp in the edge a little bit. It's just going to make a little barrier so that our filling doesn't run out. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then from here we're just going to add in that filling that we made. You don't want it too thick, but definitely enough. Good. Now we're going to layer on those zucchinis. I like to just place them kind of one overlapping each other a little bit. It just makes for a really pretty presentation. Okay, perfect. So now we have all of our zucchini layered on here in a nice pretty pattern. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle of some sea salt and then maybe a handful of pine nuts. They just add a nice little crunch. So once I get these on here, we're going to pop this into the oven at 425 for maybe 15-20 minutes. You'll know it's finished when the outside crust is nice and brown. All right, we're going to pop this guy into the oven. Ooh, and look at this flaky crust. Now I'm just serving this rustic style right off the parchment paper, just like we did in France. The last little step is some of this spice that I brought back from France. However, it's just the equivalent to crushed red pepper flake that we have here in the States. Just gonna sprinkle this all over the top. All right, now we're ready to slice it up. Just come in here with a big knife and just kind of slice it up like it was a pizza. And that's all there is to it. So you can find this recipe and more at DeSociointhekitchen.com and all these ingredients at your local food city. Bon appetit! Try Très magnifique.